gets. And what kind of gets do you get?
It's either sponsorships, partnerships, or like really it just bring people in that are going to give us accounts to the policy.
Okay. All right, so Sal, Megan, Chase, we're already running long, so I'm just letting you know.
Totally fine.
Okay. Okay, so last thing is, you give me a cue. You knew it would do that? Okay. Passionate purpose. Everybody talks about purpose, and they talk about passion. I throw it together, passionate purpose, right? Are they as passionate about your mission as you are? Are they there for the right reasons? Now, I'm just going to say this because we're keeping it real, right? If you're a big organization, people want to be on your board because it's good for them. It's good for them. Is it as good for you? If it is, maybe that's a trade-off. You know, every situation with the board has to be evaluated. There are rules, and they're flexible. They're guidelines, right? But are they there because they love your mission? When they talk, is it going to radiate how sincerely they care about your cause? And if they can't radiate that passion, are they really the best board member? It's up to you. It's up to you. We can't tell you that. You have to evaluate and tell them that. So we already talked about passionate purpose. Does anyone have a board member that's super connected with no passion for your mission? Has anyone had that? You may not want to share it. You don't have to give names or organizations. It could have been in a past life before what you're doing today. Yes, ma'am?
But, you know, and she reached out and she really wanted to be a part of it, and she made me feel that way. And then all of a sudden, when I had an event, the whole event became about her. In fact, when she spoke, she said, you know, my resources is what got us this venue. You know, this is what I do, and, you know,
So,
needless to say, she's no longer part. I thought, even though she had a multitude of connections, it wasn't in the mission of my organization is about supporting women. And that's what I'm going to stand on. I don't care if I have, you know, none of her resources. I'll just find resources.
and she was supporting a woman, not women in general, plural, right? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry you went through that, but it sounds like that you did the right thing there. So, does your nonprofit cause match their passion? Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about their why. Why do they want to be on this board, your board? What's their why? How many of you know why a board member joined your organization? You're yawning, so you need to talk. Come on. I'm trying to keep you awake. I don't know what to do.
I had to do that last night.
Okay, fair enough.
I actually did the whole thing, and I went around my board and asked them why they were involved in a lot of them. So like we fundraise, we distribute it out, and everyone on my board is a leadership program that like introduced them to all of our programs, and they all said it's one to do with Jewish connectivity, making sure the Jewish people are always together, and a lot of them who were up here said it was because they wanted to fund the community that they grew up in.
Great. So that is a great example of true personal passion and engagement. Congratulations. That is awesome. So I think if we stop and we think about this, if you understand their why, and this gets to the emotional intelligence level. First of all, I know we're all busy. Who has time really to do this, right? You've got 3 board members, 6 board members, 12. What do you guys have, like 29? How many?
60 with the marriages.
60 with the marriage. I just got really tired, you guys. Okay. 60 board members, right? Okay. So when you apply some of the emotional intelligence rules of life that we live under now, you can't do this with everyone as a single ED if you've got 60 people, but that's not typical. That's a different scenario. So if you understand at a basic level that most people want to be a part of something big, right? They want to feel a sense of belonging, passion for your cause, your passion, you're connected through that sense of belonging to a group, an organization that's like-minded. They want to have a meaningful journey, right? They want to make a contribution and an impact. So people at their core, most people, not all, most people, they want their life to mean something. And this board service can be how they accomplish that, right? They want impact. They want to give back. So if you understand what's at the root of their engagement, at their heart, you're going to get more out of that board member than those 3 to 5 hours a month that you have to. Makes sense, right? Okay. I love this quote. We all love Maya, right? People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel, right? Apply that to your board. If you've got 3 board members, this is easy. If you got 6, it's harder. 12, 60, I'm tired. Can't even. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way. There is a way. So let's talk about core competencies. How many of you use a matrix when you're selecting board members? How many of you use the matrix? You do? You want to explain it?
Well, basically, we copycat all of the great ideas from BoardSource and put them on a Google form. And then when we have prospective board members, we ask them to complete it. And then they can rank themselves on a number of these attributes, also including their financial capacity to give a gift.
Perfect. Okay. So BoardSource has a great matrix, and Chase, you guys, I can send that to you if you want it. It gives you a list of basic business skills. So let's put those out there real fast. Do you need someone with accounting ability, with financial knowledge? Do you need somebody in marketing and PR? Do you need a social media expert? Do you need a legal expert? What do you need? You know the basic, everything that it takes to run a business, you need on your board, reflected in your board, because you are a business. You're a tax-exempt business, period, end of story. You're a business with a heart, more heart than a for-profit, I think we can all agree. But you are a business. So that board is there for oversight. They are supposed to be watching everything you do and weighing in, okay? They're oversight. So these all make sense, right? Business judgment, management experience, expertise. Thank you. Understanding strategy and vision and mission knowledge. That comes from you though, right? You've got to train them, you've got to onboard them the right way. Diversity. Let's talk a little bit about diversity. How many of you, when you look for board members, go, we need a female, we need an Asian, we need an African American female? How many of you do that? Okay. Is it the right thing to do? That's a touchy subject, but is it the right thing to do? You have to?
Yes.
How many of you have someone on your board that reflects the people you serve?
That's exactly.
How many? Do you guys have that? Yes? Okay. Tell us about yours. Someone that reflects the people you serve.
So our board is, I don't know, I'm gonna count them out. They're not that many, they're like 10 people. And one of them is, we're based off of Del Rey, and we serve low-income community. And one of our board members was part of, being in the low-income neighborhoods of Del Rey. He grew out of that, but he knows what they need, how they need it, and when they need it.
That to me sounds perfect. You got someone who came from the beginnings that you serve and now is at this level. That to me sounds like the ideal board member.
They really are. I mean, I'm hearing everybody's story, and I feel like my company, even though it's a small one, or the nonprofit that I work for is a small company, it's a small place, and we've only been around for a little bit over 3 years, and the board members that we have there, everybody's incredible. Like, everybody's here to help, everybody knows the mission, like reading this, like, oh yeah, we have that, we have that, we have that.
Thank you, because you just remind me of something else. So those of you who do a lot of work with your board, you're going to know all this, right? So use this as a refresher. Think about your board, apply it to the people on your board as we talk, and just kind of rate yourself. Rate yourself as we go and see, do you have some dead weight on there that needs to go? And what do your bylaws say to help you get rid of that dead weight? That itself is another conversation, right? The bylaws? Okay. So, go ahead.
I would just add on the diversity piece, it's not just not socioeconomic, but demographic diversity, but industry diversity. So 10 years ago, Boys and Girls Club Board were
Can you guys all hear him?
Lawyers, real estate, and bankers, but all in the real estate industry. So it was like just this one aspect of the economy. So when Brian came on, he made the initiative to bring people in from other industries, but things away from just real estate.
Yeah, you really need that diversity on every level. I'm going to share with you something that one of our board members said. She is a high-powered attorney based out of Chicago and Florida. She works with boards all across the country, so high-level boards, usually for-profit, some non-profit. She said, I am sick of boards that are pale, male, and stale. Pale, male, and stale. And this is in the boardrooms across the United States. We see the same thing in nonprofits. So if you're looking at your board and it's pale, male, and stale, you know, it's not going to reflect your organization. So diversity is important on so many levels. Anything else for you, Bonnie? Okay. Oops. Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's talk about the board member's role. I'm just going to cut to strategic oversight, right? We'll get to the slide later, but I'm going to do it now. Noses in, fingers out. Simple way to remember it. Your board needs to have their nose in everything. And if you don't like it, tough. Right? Tough. Their noses in, fingers out. They should not be doing day of operations unless, I'll caveat it, unless you're so small that you can't get things going without them. So take everything I say and apply it to your organization. If you're a startup, new, smaller, then maybe your board does have to do some staff duties, some operational duties. But if you are more established, your board is there for oversight. They are there to direct, to govern. They are there to be the boss. They hire and fire the CEO. They evaluate the CEO. Every one of us in here that's an ED or a CEO can get fired at any moment by your board. And we all know that, right? That's their job. They need to advocate for your organization. They need to be your partner. And they need to be your critic. If you go to a board meeting and you just approve the reports, check the boxes, and you're out the door, is that really an effective board meeting? That's not really good. So there was something that just went out of my mind. I'll get back to it in a minute. Okay. They've got to, how many of you in your bylaws say how many meetings people have to attend before you can oust them? They have to, if they miss 3, they're out. What's your,
I don't remember off the top of my head.
would you have it? If your bylaws don't have a way to easily remove a board member who is not showing up or participating, rewrite them. That's can't have it. They've got to be a part of everything. They've got to listen, they've got to engage, they've got to participate, they've got to vote. If they're voting and they don't really know what they're voting on, that's not where you want your organization to go. What this whole presentation is about, the board member is your partner at a strategic level. They're bringing a skill set you need and an oversight and a new way of looking at what you're doing, right? So they're going to vote, they're going to participate in committees, they're going to give leadership counsel, volunteer support. We call it a strategic asset board. If your board is set up the right way, they are your best asset. They are a strategic asset to your organization, going from what it is to growth, to helping more people, to bigger impact, to whatever cause you serve. Your board can help you get there if they're strategic. Do they have community clout? We've talked about that. Are they a public advocate? We've already done all this stuff. We're going to keep moving on. I want to share with you on a give or get, our founder, Jerry Zarnecki, believes it is give and get. Give and get. Now what we've encountered is some of the larger companies will no longer give to organizations. So when they ask for, when a board member asks for a donation, support from the board member's corporation, a lot of them have put rules in place where they can't do that, because as you can imagine, the company gets asked by 50, 60, 100 employees. So they have to have a rule. So a give and get can be tricky, but you guys have to decide what's right for you. You've got to see what works and what your people can do, and then via their own resources. Can they write a personal check? Can they support you? So this is the best board member. They listen, they ask, they listen, they input, they listen, and then they vote. But they've got to listen, they've got to engage. The nose is in, fingers out. to me, you guys, that is one of the most powerful things. If you just remember that, is your board actually functioning that way? That will get you through a lot of jams. So we're almost done here. I went through this presentation and I changed it because I thought you guys were a little bit more 101. You're not. This is fun. This is fun. Okay, so we know that the board has to hire, evaluate, compensate, terminate the CEO or ED. They own the strategy. They monitor performance. That's their job. On any board in America, how many of you know that on for-profit boards, the board members get paid?
Yes.
Okay? On nonprofit, you pay. Very different scenario. The jobs of a for-profit board member and a nonprofit board member are identical, except for fundraising. Fundraising is the difference. It's the same thing. Why did they put in all these little things? Fundraising. Sorry guys, I'm critiquing slides as we go. So ignore me. We're not going to talk about this. We've talked about a lot of their role. Let's talk about fundraising. Do they help you prospect?
Yes.
Okay. Do they open doors? Do they connect you to people in the community? Okay. Do they sit down and do presentations with you? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they present proposals without you? How comfortable are the EDs, CEOs in the room with a board member presenting a proposal without you?
I think it depends on the board member.
Yeah, case by case, right?
Well, and is that proposal done by us and then we're passing it on versus just coming up with it on their own?
Best practice is technically a board member with a staff, with the development director, with somebody from the organization, the ED CEO. But the rules are, take the basic best practices and make them fit your organization as long as you're getting that strategic input that you need. So, how many of you do fundraisers?
Yeah.
Love fundraising?
I love him.
Got a quick story? Because I think I've got 2 minutes. Quick story?
Quick story, it's the same person that this gentleman knows, Mr. Pettis. I had a chance to get connected to Mr. Pettis, who is one of the top influential attorneys here in South Florida. And based on that, he's doing a presentation for my students.
Very cool. So when you can, the more friends you can bring to your organization, the better, right? How many of you have board members help you with thank yous? Couple? Every board member? Kareem, you're saying all 60 of them?
Well, every meeting is
Sorry,
about.
I'm picking on them a little bit. 60 guys, come on.
Every board meeting, we give board members a thank you card to write a personal note to a donor who's made a contribution over the last 30 days.
And that is part of why you guys are so successful, because that's critical.
We have our individual board chairs call and thank donors. We don't always have time, but if someone donates a one-time gift over a certain amount, our board chairs will call them. And then we have 2 separate giving circles that people can be a part of. And every time someone joins one of the giving circles, not only are they given a phone call, but there's a handwritten note that goes along from our giving circle chairs to keep the donors engaged and to know that they're appreciated.
That's fantastic. Okay.
So within our organization, we have our overarching board, which performs the fiduciary responsibilities, and then we have other boards, one of which is in our women's philanthropy division, and a new role that we have created is like relations and public relations, and we run now monthly reports of new gifts in every month in the women's division, and that's part of her portfolio, her job tasks, and she reaches out, email a board member on our women's philanthropy board to thank new donors monthly.
Wow, that's great. So if you guys were listening, some amazing best practices in place, right in this room. You guys are doing wonderful. Let's just do this real quickly. This last one, number 3, we're going to go to. How many times have you guys talked about this already? Fundraising is not begging, right? It's not begging. It's cause marketing, cause selling. It's just connecting a peer who has a like-minded passion with an organization you trust. That's it. If a board member understands that, the fear of begging their friends, their peers for money can magically go away. They just need to know, if you love this cause enough to be a board member on the organization, and you know they care about the same thing, you're connecting like-minded people with a like-minded passion. It is cause selling, cause marketing, it is not begging. And it's shocking how many board members will not make an ask. Will not make an ask because they don't want to ask their peers. They feel like they're begging. So it's up to you to give them the tools and to have the right board members so it doesn't feel like begging. It feels like a natural extension of your organization. So, all right, he's standing up, he's got the hook, he's pulling me. We're done. You guys know onward and properly. Okay, at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. Good thing they gave us extra time.
Yeah, any last questions for Raylene?
No,
All
but
right,
can we have a
yes.
copy of your presentation sent to us?
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
have a quick question. You were going to tell us why it's better to have the title of CEO instead of executive.
Yes.
Absolutely, I'll be happy to. Jerry, as a C-suite executive for most of his career, banker, etc., he's amazing. He's our founder. When he hired me, he said, I want you to work your way up to the CEO title if you earn it. And I want you to have CEO and not executive director because it means something in the business world. Executive director in the business world is looked at as a lower level title. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm just sharing what he trained me on. So he wanted me to have the ability to talk peer to peer to a CEO of a corporation that might help fund us. He did not want me to have an ED title. He insisted president and CEO was going to be my title if I earned it.
I have a quick question. Maybe, I know a lot of the presentation was geared towards governing boards and how you want your boards to be structured, but those that are just starting out and have more of the working board, or the intent of a working board, you know, it's like a volunteer thing, just trying to get outcomes. What resources or where can those folks go to get help?
Well, we help with that.
Okay.
That is part of what we do. You know, you guys, the smaller nonprofits that have a really small budget, where their board work functions as a staff, they need help. One of the things, part of our core mission is education, and we try to make it affordable at all levels. So there's a sliding scale. But some of those organizations need a lot more help. They need training on all aspects. In a small organization, your board kind of does have to function as staff. Resources for that, I mean, Board Source does have a lot of grade 101 that's free, and then as a member you can get access to a lot more. This course, as a 101 course, or what this might actually be a 201, a 301, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Everything that you guys teach with cause selling is important. There's a lot of resources. I could put together a list.
That would be great.
Yeah, and we can
Thank
distribute
you.
that. So big round of applause for Raylene. I'm going to just go through these raffles real quick, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Topham to conclude this session. So today we have two different raffle gifts. One of them comes from our very own Donna Ogden Chen. If you would please raise your hand. Thank you to her. She, on behalf of the Flamingo Gardens, which is a botanical gardens and nature sanctuary, we have two guest passes. So two different raffles, each for 2 passes apiece for you to attend Flamingo Gardens. Right now I'm just going to draw the hat. And then also we have 3 books on Your Nonprofit Director, What Now? By Raylene and the CEO, president of the organization himself. So we're going to be doing all 5 of these. So first, Flamingo Gardens. I'm just going to give a drum roll, please. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We have 119189. That's you? All right. Congratulations. You are invited to go to Flamingo Gardens. All right. Next one.
119213.
Oh, what? Look at that. Okay. Now for the books.
All right. 119219.
All right. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
119212. Is there one more?
Yep, one more.
119210. All right. Well, we're just wrapping up in just a few things as you guys head home. I want you to really think about your pitches and do some work on that at home so that, we can spend some partner time next time going back and forth and just practicing it so that when we end our last session that you are up here and you feel comfortable and you feel confident about your delivery and about your content. Any questions about what we covered today or access to Canvas or any of the materials? Now's the time. No?
All right.
Okay. Do it. Does anybody have any questions about the tools, where to access, anything going on? Okay.
And then, again, if anybody would like, oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to share a bit of advice. If anyone in grants is looking for an opportunity, we are supported by the DeLuca Foundation, which is a great organization, and they are currently looking for a grants manager. One of our staff left and joined them, and she's having a fantastic time, so just a word out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And so again, if anybody would like to submit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, I'm Donna Marshall, I'm with the Urban League of Broward County, and I just want you to know that if you look for me on LinkedIn, I just posted on behalf of the Urban League several positions we have open, so, and also contract positions, so you might be interested in contract work or you might be interested in joining our team because you want to bring your knowledge, skills, abilities, and passion to the Urban League of Broward County. But I'm Donna Marshall, and like I said, I'm on LinkedIn. Look me up. I'll accept you as a friend. All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I just got I got a message from this influencer today because I sent out some of my campaigns, my marketing campaigns, sending out some
Let's get together. Give me a call.
So this guy with a handwritten letter and everything, he just got back to me on Instagram.
You guys actually,
Are you going to be up at the...
as a matter of fact, oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm headed up there.
I'll see you next Saturday.
So I do that every year for at least 3 days, but
No, that's it. But we do that. Is that right?
oh, fine. We just had a conversation.
That's the thing, is once I get done.
You have passion. No, I'm just kidding. I believe you. You're here. I need to sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Allen, sorry.
Oh, Nina. She's looking for internship.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't posted yet, but I'm looking for, we're meeting Monday, we're going to finalize the job description on Monday. And we're talking about a paid internship. Not sure we'll be able to do it or not. But I am allocated to hours, and I believe my story will be sold. Because I'm really good at that. Because it's not that much money, but yeah, so we're looking for someone to be a marketing, philanthropy intern, maybe doing 10 to 12 hours a week. Is that something you're interested in?
Yes, I am, because the marketing effort.
Look at you. Got you some help.
This is what I want you to go on to LinkedIn. What's your name? Mariana. My middle name is Maria, so that should be able to.
I do. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll take it down and bring it next time.
A lot of the functions that we'll be working on together will be really updating the needs coming from our staff.
Okay, but again, I'm on LinkedIn. That's my name. That you'll find on LinkedIn with Urban League of Broward County. You will, but there is. If you go out to this website, if you go on LinkedIn, you will find out more about us. If you go, our website. Wait. Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mariana. I look forward to hearing from you.
No, thank you very much.
Oh, I know some of you.
I heard you. I was like,
Opportunity.
oh, I gotta get out.
Yeah, I'm glad you allowed me to make that announcement, Megan. That was on time. Yeah, because we do have that coming open. So, and we want to fill it like yesterday for the intern piece. So what hours of availability do you have?
I mean, the only time I could be
actually saw the position.
only like Tuesday, Thursday, but I have those.
That's fine.
I can just work up to 4 p.m.
Okay.
It's like Tuesdays and Thursdays. After that, I can do like Wednesday,
So,
Wednesday.
I have to present a budget that we don't have, just see if we can pay it in terms. So I'm not 100% sure. So let me know. And I would never, if I could get dollars for the role, I would never not give it to a student because I think students need the money. So hopefully we can get it going that way. But that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was
It's nice meeting you. Thanks for coming up to me. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Maybe.
I actually started my nonprofit career in Tallahassee.
Did you really?
So I know the Big Ben, so I don't know if you knew Teresa Flurry,
No.
but she was.
And that staff has turned since the last time I spoke to them.
Oh yeah. But also thank you for plugging
Oh,
in.
no
I know
problem.
it's
Yep, I would
hard.
say check it out. Their 990 should be available.
Okay.
But Judith is having a great experience.
And what role is she in?
She's in that position, except she is Broward and Palm Beach. So I think what they're looking for is somebody for very.
Oh, cool. I live there.
Just to let you know, Fred, I went ahead and texted my husband. But evidently, since I'm not home, I'm telling what he's doing. He's probably out. So expect to possibly hear from him.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Good stuff. I haven't seen him in a while.
I know.
So, oh, you already knew the Ohio connection.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's how we met.
Yeah. You know, when I saw the resume, I'm like, oh, so you from Ohio? You really should have been in Broward County? Listen, I was just in Ohio last week. I went back home. It was 14, 15, 16 degree weather.
It was a cold
And not only that, but the snow was blowing sideways. Do you miss it?
I don't miss it.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to.
I'm gonna text you, call your cell.
Yeah, do that.
And then you can just text it to me. Like this. That way you'll see, and you also see that as my number pops up.
No, here you go. Okay,
It's still Columbus number. And it's Darwin out.
that's it right there. If you got the barcode scanner.
I'll try that one.
So it should be a link. Referral.